And on this episode of My Death Was Greatly Exaggerated, we have this from Comic Book News. Wonderman and Ironheart still happening, confirms Marvel. So far, I've made a video about Wonderman being cancelled. I made another one about it not being cancelled. I made a third video that I didn't post because it said it was getting cancelled again. And now we're back to this. This show is happening, folks. It is going to be another ratings collapse for Marvel. Is it going to get worse ratings than Echo? Is it going to get worse ratings than X-Men 97, which is now getting worse ratings than What If? Who knows? Actually, I'm sorry. We all know. It's all going to be terrible. It's all crap right now, okay? Wonder Man was not really that popular of a hero. That's why they decided to change his backstory from, oh, I'm a guy that was made into a villain by Zemo whose goal it was to kill the Avengers, to now he's a stuntman living in LA. That is reportedly what the plot of this show is. I have no idea how he becomes superpowered because of this, but it's going to be a really interesting and terrible twist of fate here. Now, the Ironheart show, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I know it's going to be bad. However, we need this show to happen, because they already set up for Ned to be in the college with Riri Williams. Thus, he's eventually going to make a Hobgoblin glider and suit. That we need this show to happen so these two could link up and he could make the suit and avenge MJ, who I think is going to get killed in the next Spider-Man movie, because Peter's going to go black suit Spider-Man and get her killed. And then he's going to make the suit to get revenge on Spider-Man for killing his best friend. And then we're going to have that fight in the end. And then we're going to have that canon event that Peter Parker always does battle with his best friend in every Spider-Man universe. So, we need this show to happen. It's going to be bad. It's going to cost Disney a couple $100 million. They're not going to make any toy sales whatsoever. No one's going to be dressing up as this woman for Halloween. And everyone's going to forget it even remotely existed. But we need it to happen. Wonder Man, obviously, we don't need to have that happen, because that's a character that he's going to have all of his episodes, I think, drop in day one, just like Echo did. And it's not like he's going to really go into the Avengers or anything like that, though. We're not going to see Wonder Man leading the charge against, I don't know, Super Skrull or Galactus, or I don't know who they're possibly going to fight next. They're going to be fighting the Kangs next? Is Wonder Man going to be doing a Captain America speech to go fight against the Kangs? No, that's not going to happen. Riri Williams is not going to do anything either. She's just going to have this show and then fade off into non-existence, which is essentially Marvel as a whole right now. This is a quote from Brad Windham-Baum, who is the head of streaming, television, and animation at Marvel, who should be on the unemployment line right now. Because anyone that's involved with Marvel right now should not have a job. I don't believe this man can greenlit this show and say this quote that I'm going to read a few seconds though, and still have a job. The quote reads, when asked about the show, if it's still happening, he says, yeah, absolutely. We're editing both of those shows as we speak. They're spectacular, they're amazing, and they're different. Maybe you guys should just stick to the same old, the movies that were making billions and billions of dollars and ushering in a brand new generation of Marvel and comic book fans. When you guys were doing everything right. But no. Again, you're Disney Marvel. You know what people want, and they want different. He goes on to say, we're able to explore corners of the universe that are really exciting. What corners of the universe are Riri Williams, a normal human being in an Iron Man suit, and Simon Williamson, a normal person that now has enhanced abilities? What corners of the universe are they exploring right now? At any point in their comic books were they exploring the corners of the universe? Riri is one of them, and I cannot wait for people to meet Simon Williams. That didn't even sound positive. Then it goes on to say that Windham-Baum also confirmed a Nova project is in early development. You guys are going to ruin Nova too. Everyone knows that. So now we have, again, the sad news, well, I guess happy news for me and every other YouTuber out there that gives reviews on these things. Wonder Man and Ironheart are still happening. These shows are gonna bomb. Ratings collapse. No one cares. Marvel, Disney, everyone involved is going to be putting out tweets talking about it's a great show, but it did bad because people are racist and homophobic and misogynistic and all these other things. And yet they're never going to look at themselves in the mirror and say out loud, we are actively choosing to kill our own company. I have no idea what could possibly be going through this man's mind right now as he said these quotes. Do you think he actually believed them? That's what I'm wondering the most, because I never thought Bob Iger is a moron. And Bob Iger's still getting his money from, BlackRock and Vanguard and others, so he doesn't really care what the product is going to be as long as in the end he gets his money and it's not costing the company anything because they're getting bankrolled by other people. But do they actually believe at the bottom level that this show's going to be good? When the writers are writing the show, do they realistically think it's going to be good? When the team is editing this stuff, they're like, wow, this is great. When they're promoting this on social medias, like when the person who's handling Disney social media is writing out a tweet or a Facebook post, do they realistically believe that this movie and show and everything that they're working on right now is going to bring in people? That's not just going to get 1,000 laughing emojis at it? I don't know. I feel like that's a good question to ask, though. So what do you guys think about that? Are you excited for Wonderman and Ironheart? Obviously you're not, though, but still I have to pose the question out there. And more importantly, what corners of the universe are these two possibly going to explore? Let me know what you think about that.